My name's Emma. I'm going to be guiding us through a 45-minute Vinyasa flow. It's an all levels class. I will offer modifications and variations. You can also just take this practice as your own and use whatever I say as a guide. If you have any props in your space, like a blanket or a pillow, that might be helpful for our final relaxation pose toward the end of class if you want to grab those. Awesome. When you're ready, we're going to start on our backs. Couple options here. If you have low back issues, you're going to take the feet wide and knock the knees together. Alternatively, you could take the feet together and the knees wide. Or you could come to a Shavasana position, extending your legs out long, extending the hands. So just begin to play around with this. Find some stillness in your body. Take a deep inhale, open the mouth and let it go. Beginning to land on your mat in this space. Beginning to set a really clear space for the next 45 minutes. Doing this as an act of self-care. Beginning to drop the to-do lists, anything that might happen after this class, anything that happened before this class, things that you anticipate getting done. Begin to bring all of those thoughts up and maybe visualize placing them outside of the space. So imagine placing them outside of the door, away from your mat, your physical body, and your energetic body. As you sink deeper into this space of stillness, begin to bring your awareness to the breath. I'll invite you to bring the right hand to your low belly and the left hand to the chest. We're going to draw the breath really deep into the low belly. Take a big inhale and long exhale. Beginning to elongate the breaths here. We're activating our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and relax. Feeling that right hand rise high on the inhales. On the exhales, everything sinks closer to the earth. We'll be here for 3 more intentional rounds of breath. And we're going to hone in on a really simple intention of presence. Showing up for yourself and showing up during this time as an act of self-care. When you're ready, begin to extend the legs long, extend the arms above head, reaching long in both directions like you're just waking up in the morning. Take a deep inhale and exhale to come up to a seat however you choose to get there. We're going to come to a cross-legged seat. If cross-legged is not comfortable for you, you can extend the legs out long or maybe come to sit on the shins in hero's pose. From here, we're moving through some seated cat-cows. On your inhale, you're going to draw the chest forward, take the gaze up. And on your exhale, you're going to round through the shoulder blades and tuck the gaze. Inhale and exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Maybe close the eyes. Exhale, cat. Perfect. A couple more at your own pace. leaning back and center when you're ready. Take a deep inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, tilt to the left. So the right arm is reaching up and over. Ground through the right sits bone. Inhale into that side body, spiral the chest towards the sky. And exhale back to center. Inhale, and then exhale other side. So you're tilting toward the right. The left arm is reaching up and over. Ground deeper through that left hip. Take a deep inhale, spiral the chest open. Maybe you gaze up. Inhale back to center, beautiful. We're gonna drop the chin toward the chest and then take some half circles here, drawing like a half circle shape along the collarbone. From here, bring the head back to center and exhale to drop the head back so the chin comes up towards the sky. And you're gonna draw half circles here along the tops of the shoulder blades. Awesome, coming back to center, we're gonna roll over into a tabletop position, all fours. Planting the hands under the shoulders, planting the hips over the knees. Take a deep inhale for cow and exhale for cat, rounding through the shoulder blades. Inhale for cow and exhale for cat. You can stay with these movements, cat, cow, or you can take the hips in big circles. Maybe inhale as you come back and exhale as you come forward past the wrists. Taking these movements organically. And begin to switch directions when you're ready. Linking your breath here. Maybe you exhale as you come forward, inhale as you come back. Allowing the cerebral spinal fluid to activate and move more freely up and down the spine. Awesome, coming back to center. We're gonna tuck the right toes behind us, press back through the right heel. On your next inhale, lift the right heel towards the sky using engagement in that glute and that hamstring. Press the right heel away from the body. Begin to engage more through your center line, so the core and the inner thighs. You're gonna reach the left arm high. You can always keep it down as a modification. Breathing here, even though we're squeezing towards center. Take a deep inhale, reach long in both directions. Exhale, elbow to knee, round the back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Last one, exhale, round. Inhale, reach, and we'll hold here for one breath, or you can reach around for that right foot. Taking a quad stretch, or maybe you kick into that left hand. Awesome. When you're ready, super gentle release. Take the knees wide and the big toes together. Sink the hips back, child's pose. Feel the forehead rooted on the earth. Maybe begin to rock the forehead side to side. Awakening through our third eye center, our intuition, that deep place of stillness and presence in us. From here, you're going to come back to your tabletop position. Finding your alignment again. This time we're tucking the left toes. Press back through the left heel. Breathe into that length, and when you're ready, lift the left leg high. You're pressing the left foot back like you're kicking into a wall. Beautiful. And then floating that right hand high when you're ready. The more you engage through your center line here, including those inner thighs, squeezing the right hand toward that center line as well, it should feel a little more doable, maybe less wobbly. Inhale, reach long in both directions. Exhale, elbow to knee, round the back, cat back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. From this variation of child's pose with the shoulders rounded back, maybe the crown of the head is resting on the earth. Begin to send your breath in between the shoulder blades so you're breathing into the back of the heart space. Take one more deep inhale and long exhale. You're going to walk the hands back toward the top of your mat. You're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to shift the hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Taking the feet hips distance here or wider, and to start, place a generous bend in the knees. Imagine that someone has a string at the tailbone. They're pulling the tailbone up and back. Breathe into that length in the back of the legs. Relax the head toward the earth. And then begin to pedal out the feet, bending one knee, straightening the other. Staying with those intentional breaths. Not forcing our way through this, just allowing the body to slowly warm up. Coming back to stillness when you're ready. Take a deep inhale, lift the feet, exhale, bend the knees. Another exhale, step toward the top of your mat. Inhale, slide the hands up right beneath the knees, half lift. Begin to reach the hands back behind you. The crown of the head reaches forward, the fingertips reach back. Begin to interlace here at your low back. Take another deep inhale into that space. Exhale, generously bend the knees and fold forward for a shoulder rinse. This is more about lengthening through the spine here and stretching the tops of the shoulders, so don't worry about the legs being super straight. Maybe slightly shift your weight toward the balls of the feet. You should get a more effective hamstring stretch. If it's too much to bind the hands here, maybe you could grab a t-shirt or a towel and kind of lengthen your arms. We'll be here for 2 or 3 more deep breaths. With every exhale, find somewhere that you can relax just 10% deeper. Great, bringing the hands down, slowly unlace the fingertips. Inhale for another half lift. And then super slow, come up to stand, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, reach the hands above the head. Exhale, slide the hands down your center line. Plug the thumb knuckles into your sternum. And see if you can feel your heartbeat. Being present with the physiological reactions in your body right now. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Exhale, dive back down, fold forward. We're gonna step back into a high plank position and then softly drop the knees to the earth. Refinding our center line. On your inhale, shift slightly forward, and exhale, lower all the way to the earth. The hands are framing the low ribs. On your inhale, lift the head and chest, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Maybe you press into the hands a little more if that's what is calling in your practice. And exhale, release. Inhale, maybe press into the hands all the way here. You can leave the hips dropping to the earth, or you can press into the tops of the toes and lift the thighs for upward facing dog. Amazing. Exhale, release all the way to the earth. You're gonna crawl the hands out nice and wide. You're tenting on the fingertips. Take another inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, drop the right shoulder to the earth. Coming back to center. Another exhale, left shoulder to the earth. Back to center. Switching it out with your breath. Taking your gaze over the opposite shoulder with you. And coming back to center when you're ready. You can push through a child's pose, maybe a tabletop position, or you can go up to plank. Up to you. We're coming to downward facing dog. You're gonna pedal out the feet here. Feeling maybe slightly warmer in the physical body. Inhale, the heels lift, knees bend, step your way to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Same exhale, steps back to high plank. We're gonna hold in high plank here. You can always drop the knees, that's perfect. Finding your center line, maybe dropping the hips slightly or lifting them. Take an inhale to shift forward, lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, the thighs are lifted, or baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Moving through a couple more sun salutations here. On your inhale, heels lift, knees bend, make your way toward the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. Feeling that internal heat, we're building this purifying fire, burning away anything that is not serving us in our life or in this moment. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Exhale, refold. This time we're stepping the left toes back toward. Coming into your low lunge here for one more breath. You're gonna sweep the hands high, maybe take the gaze up and back. You're lifting from the back of the heart space. Take an inhale, and exhale, you're gonna drop the left hand down and reach the right arm high, gazing past the right fingertips. Beautiful, take an inhale, spiral the chest open. Exhale, the right hand comes inside of the right foot. You're toe heeling the right foot out toward the right edge of the mat slightly. We're coming into a variation of lizard lunge here. I'll invite you to roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. And it's probably plenty for us to stay on the hands here. If you are more open in the hips, then you can bring the forearms down to the earth. Just notice if you're rounding through the back or if you're pushing yourself. Then come back to the hands, we're just warming up. Using your exhales to ground and clear away any tension. If you're down on the forearms, you're gonna bring the hands back up toward the earth. Toe heel that right foot back to center. And then exhale, shift back any degree. You're gonna straighten that front leg for a half split. Finding some kind of engagement in that right foot. I like to flex my foot. If you want more of an opening in the shin, you can point the toes. Bringing the left hip forward and the right hip back, so we're squaring off the hips here. Shifting back forward on your inhale, or on your exhale. Planting both hands to frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes and shift back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, a couple options. I'll guide you through a vinyasa. You can take that, you can stay in down dog, or you can always take a child's pose. If you're going for the vinyasa, take an inhale to shift forward into high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Great, take an inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Everyone meets at the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, halfway to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, fold back down. This time the right foot steps back, coming into low lunge. That right knee slowly comes to the earth. Great, you can stay here with the hands down for a couple moments, allowing the hips to integrate, or you can bring the hands up to that left knee. Again, notice if you're dumping all of your weight forward, and then if that's the case, you're gonna press deeper into that left heel, squaring the hips. Taking a couple breaths in this shape. Awesome, bringing the hands up for one inhale, maybe look up and back, breathing into the heart space. Exhale, the right arm comes down, the left arm comes up. Take an open arm twist here. Maybe you gaze up, over, and past the left fingertips, spiraling the chest towards the ceiling. Take another inhale. Exhale, the left arm comes inside of the left foot. You're gonna toe heel the left foot out. And I'll invite you to come onto the pinky edge side of the foot. We're coming into the same lizard lunge variation. And it is common that we're really imbalanced on both sides of our bodies. So maybe you feel more open on this side, or you feel more tension. Wherever you are, just honor that. Maybe you bring the elbows down to the earth if you're feeling open. Allow gravity to just take over, sinking the hips toward the earth. Awesome, bringing the hands back to the earth if they're not there already. Tuck the back toes and shift back, downward facing dog. Again, we have 5 breaths here. You can follow my cues for vinyasa, stay in down dog, or take a child's pose. Your inhale is going to bring you forward and down for chaturanga, bringing you into a back bend. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Always moving with your own breath. From here, the right leg is going to lift high, 3-legged dog. You're going to bend that right knee and then stack the hips. So you're pressing that right foot away from you. You should feel a nice length in the right side. Breathing into that line of energy, coming through the right hip flexor. Squaring the hips back to center. And then exhale, step it all the way through. That back foot is going to come parallel with the back of the mat. You're going to open up for warrior 2. Beautiful. Taking up lots of space here. Gazing down at that right knee, making sure you're super bent. And also making sure you can see your big toe. So the knee probably wants to come in, but we're keeping that right knee pressing out. Spiraling the hands up towards the sky, tapping into the feminine energy with the top of the body, tapping into the masculine energy, the earth energy with the soles of the feet. Take an inhale, reach slightly forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Keeping the gaze neutral, or maybe you gaze up toward the right elbow crease. Beautiful. Come back to center when you're ready. Exhale, the right forearm comes to the right knee, side angle. You can keep the left arm reaching high or reach the left arm over head. Making sure you're not dipping down toward the ground. You're spiraling the chest open. Maybe the gaze comes with you. One inhale, exhale back to center. Meeting in your warrior two. Exhale to spiral the hands back down. Everyone meets in a downward facing dog. Same options here. Vinyasa flow, which is that high to low plank, up to down dog. You can stay in downward facing dog or come to a child's pose. Whatever is calling to you, this is your practice. Notice if you're moving from a place of self-love. Meeting in downward facing dog. When you're ready, take your time. That left leg is gonna lift. Bending the left knee, and you're gonna stack the hips open, so you're stacking the left hip over the right hip. Pressing the left sole of the foot away from the body. Really breathe into that left hip flexor. Beautiful. Come back to center. And super gently step that left foot through. So the left foot is coming forward, the back foot is dialing back. So it's parallel with the back of the mat. Sweeping the arms open, warrior two on the left side. Taking a moment here to set your gaze, catch your breath. Spiral the hands up towards the ceiling. Drop really heavy into the shoulders. Notice if you're scrunching them up toward the ears, and just create lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. Inhale, reach slightly forward. Keep that length on both side bodies. And exhale, reverse. Notice if you come out of that front leg a little bit, keep it bent. The shape of the leg should not change, just the upper body. Coming back to warrior two when you're ready. That left forearm comes to the left knee, side angle. You can sweep the right arm overhead or keep it up in line with the shoulder. Spiral the chest open towards the sky. Exhale back to center. One breath. You're gonna spiral the hands back down toward that left foot. Take a downward facing dog. We have 5 breaths again. Vinyasa, down dog, or a child's pose. When you're ready, everyone is going to find a child's pose as a reset. Walking the hands in front of you, you're going to tent on the fingertips. Breathe into both side bodies. Exhale, walk the hands over to the right. Breathe into the left side body here. Focus on grounding the left hip flexor back into the earth. Imagine that you could breathe more space in the left side body. From the side stretch, you're going to walk the hands back to center. And then coming back up into your tabletop pose. We're transitioning to our cool down poses, coming toward Shavasana soon. We're taking one more fiery pose. We're going to take boat pose, but there's several options. So option 1 would just be keeping the heels down. Option 2, if you want a little more heat, bring the heels up, grabbing behind the thighs. Maybe you release the hands, or you can straighten everything. Wherever you are, you're just going to choose something that feels sustainable to hold for a couple deep breaths. Staying with that thread we've been working with through practice of engaging through the center line. It's super important for our balance and our spinal health. A couple more breaths here, beautiful. And then slowly roll down onto your back. Bring the knees in, give yourself a big hug. Begin to rock the knees side to side. You're massaging through the low back. Great. From here, you're bringing the soles of the feet to the earth. We're moving into a figure 4 stretch. Bringing the right foot up, and then crossing the right foot over the left. Breathing here. When you're ready, you're going to reach through the legs, grabbing onto the back of that left thigh or maybe the left shin. I like to rock this shape side to side until I feel an area of tension that I would like to stay at. So just play around with where that tension is on the outside of the hips. Notice if you're gripping the jaw, begin to release the jaw. Release the gripping in between the eyebrows. Release the tongue off of the roof of the mouth. Begin to slow down, it's likely that our mind is going to try to distract us and bring us elsewhere. If that's the case, just focus on physical sensations in your body. Maybe the stretch in the outside of the right hip, the breath moving through the belly. Come back to center when you're ready. Begin to switch it out so that left foot crosses and the right knee bends. You're grabbing for that right thigh or maybe the right shin if you want to take it a little deeper. Again, play with rocking the shape side to side, finding an area of tension that feels sustainable for a few breaths. Keeping that relaxation in the face. You're going to drop that softness into the shoulders and the neck, even the feet. Take 3 more breaths. And then slowly release both feet to the earth. Take a quick full body stretch as a reset, lengthening through the hip flexors. Bring the soles of the feet back to the earth. Take them out nice and wide. We're going to windshield wiper the knees side to side a couple times. We're just releasing the low back, releasing the hips with movement. The next time your knees fall to the right, you're going to keep them there. So this might be plenty of a twist. You could also cross the right ankle over the left knee for some added weight. You'll likely feel the stretch a little deeper in that left hip flexor if that's what you're looking for. I like to cactus the arms. Maybe you gaze over the left shoulder. And take those breaths deep into the low belly, even though it might feel a little restricting. Twists are really great for the digestive system. So we're giving our internal organs a massage. Great, one more breath. Slowly release that right foot, bringing both knees back to center. Windshield wiper the knees side to side a couple times just to reset. Next time you land on the left, both knees are going to drop there. Crossing the left ankle over the right. Maybe take the gaze over the right shoulder. Notice if you're gripping somewhere in the fingertips. Notice if you're gripping in the feet. Just beginning to rest in the space. Drawing the breath deep. Also keeping the breath soft. Within the next breath or so, begin to release that left foot if it's over the knee. Bring the knees back to center. Taking any last moves or poses or wiggles before our final relaxation, which is Shavasana. You can take traditional Shavasana, bringing the legs out long, the hands out by your side. Maybe you grab that pillow, you can place it under the neck. You could also place a blanket rolled up under the knees. That's really nice for the low back. You can take any other shape that feels good in your body. Maybe it's a fetal position. You could also take this moment to come into a seated meditation if that will feel more supportive for you. Once you find your Shavasana shape, you're going to slightly tuck the chin so the back of the neck is long. Whenever we're grounded through the back of the head like that, our nervous system is able to relax because we feel safe. Beginning to return to a neutral rhythm of breath. Begin to release any control or gripping onto your mindset or your body or the practice. Just begin to ride the wave of your internal experience. Begin to visualize a really still body of water. And And visualize this body of water on your forehead. Imagine that a pebble was dropped into the water and it begins to create ripples. Allow this gentle movement of the water to soothe any lingering tension in your physical body. With every breath, these ripples begin to spread through the entire body, maybe outside of your space. Taking a few more breaths here. Keeping your awareness on this imagery. And slowly begin to bring more awareness to your physics. We're going to ground the sits bones. Take an inhale to reach the hands high. Exhale, the thumbs come to your third eye center in between the eyebrows, sealing in that intention of presence. The light in me honors and respects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.